make his NFL return a decade after his magical run as the Broncos starting quarterback in 2011. After playing a handful of games for the Jets in 2012, the Heisman winner hasn't played in the regular season since then, and now he's finally making the position change that many said would have given him a chance to stay in the league. So, Shannon, as a quarterback, should Tim Tebow be considered an NFL bust?
Yeah, a bust. It's simple as that. You don't grade him on the curve. He's a first-round draft pick. And he had plenty of opportunity to show how well he could play. In 16 starts, he's only 3 times did he complete over 50% of his passes. Is that good, Skip? No, I don't think that's really good either. So, but anyway, he had a chance in New York, New England, Philly. Didn't make it. So we can't make excuses and say, well, he didn't get a fair chance. Every player that's ever gotten cut from professional sport will tell you, man, they ain't like me, man. They ain't give me no shot, man. Same thing in college. I hear my homeboy, I go back and talk to him. Man, you know, coach, they like me, man. I probably could have made it to the league. Here's some, Skip always talks about 2011. In 2011, the Broncos beat the Chiefs in week 10. Tim Tebow was 2 for 8. They lost in week 17 to that same Chief team. Tim Tebow was 6 of 22 with an interception. In the divisional round of the playoffs against New England, he was 9 of 26 for 136 yards, scored 10 points. Now, this is Tim Tebow completion percentage, including the playoffs. He has a lower completion percentage than Ryan Leaf. Would anybody consider Ryan Leaf a bust? But Tim Tebow's completion percentage is lower than his. What about Jamarcus Russell? Tim Tebow's completion percentage is lower than Jamarcus Russell. Would we consider Jamarcus Russell a bust? He has the same completion percentage as Achilles Smith. I mentioned these guys. Jamarcus Russell, once he got released by the Raiders, never played again. Achilles Smith tried out for a couple of teams, never played again. Same thing happened to Tim Tebow. So if we're going to grade him as a first-round quarterback, Tim Tebow's career was a bust.
Is that it? Thank you. Now, allow me to walk you back quickly through my history with Tim Tebow and explain to you why he was anything but a bust.
Okay.
Maybe a Canton bust. I don't know.
Okay.
So, it was the 2009 Orange Bowl. I had to watch the Florida Gators play my Oklahoma Sooners. Born and raised in Oklahoma City as a Sooner fan, never a big Sam Bradford fan, but he was on his way to becoming the #1 overall pick, and he was my starting quarterback against Tim Tebow in the national championship game in the Orange Bowl. It was a 7-7 game at halftime, only because Sam Bradford threw an end zone interception to end the first half. 7-all, and after the game, I saw what Tim Tebow, a competitive force of nature, said to his team, his halftime speech. If we could please see that in that Orange Bowl.
Get in here right now! Get in here! Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives! 30 minutes for the rest of our lives! That's our battle in the first half. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're going to hit somebody, and we're taking it down the field for a touchdown. I guarantee you that.
Guaranteed.
Look at me. Let's go. We got 30 minutes.
Let's go.
For the rest of our lives.
For the rest of our lives.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You think psycho Tom Brady goes a little psycho on the field? That scared me because I said, I wouldn't mind having that guy running my football team, because you know what he did in the second half? He took it and ran it right down University of Oklahoma's throat. He went 75 yards in 13 plays. He got some help from Percy Harvin, but he did a lot of it himself. And then he goes 76 yards in 11 plays, and they won 24-14 and won the national championship off that ignition of an inspirational speech.
You know y'all choking bowl games. Y'all been doing it. Remember Boise State?
Yeah.
Okay,
but we lost the national championship game that I thought we were the better team and should have won the game. So off that, I began to watch Tim Tebow more closely. And his final college game under Urban Meyer was the Sugar Bowl against 12-0 Cincinnati. In that game, Tim Tebow went 31 of 35 for 482 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He also ran for a touchdown. They won 51-24. And I said, you know what? I'm taking that guy late in the first round. And I said on national TV repeatedly, give me Tim Tebow late in the first round. Run Urban Meyer's offense in pro football, he will win football games. I'm not saying he's going to ever make a Pro Bowl, though he nearly did in 2011. Reportedly, he was very close.
Was that the Cincinnati team that the coach had just left and went to Notre Dame? That wasn't that Cincinnati team, was it?
12-0, that's all.
I'm not just saying, Skip, was it that team?
How can you be 31 of 35 for 482 and you can't throw? How can you do that? I don't know. Maybe it was a mirage. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it was CGI. I have no idea how he did it, but I saw it and I said, I want that guy on my team. So Josh McDaniels saw what I saw and he took him with the 25th overall pick. And Josh, as we talked about earlier, he got fired that year, but Tim got 3 starts at the end of the year and he was really good in those 3 starts, including 308 that he threw for against Matt Schaub and the Texans and pulled it out with another late game winning drive and a 6-yard run for a touchdown. I said, that guy should be the starter next year. John Elway had other ideas. Kyle Orton was the starter. And then here came 1 and 4. The Denver Broncos said, let's just get the Tebow experiment over with. And you know the rest of the story. He goes 7 and 4 the rest of the year. He didn't win 2 games or 3 games. He went 7 and 4. He led the NFL in QBR in the last 5 minutes of those 11 games. And along the way, it got so crazy that at ESPN, we actually had the great DJ Steve Porter create a music video, and it caught on. It was a national craze. It won the Webby Award that year. I went to a big gala in New York, speaking of a gala, and accepted it from the great Jeremy Lin. Remember Lin Sanity?
I do.
He was hot at that point, and he honored me with the Webby Award. And if we could see a little bit of it. Yes! I got to revive it.
Playmaker, shot caller. He's a gamer. He's a baller. Playmaker, shot caller. Unleash.
Tim Tebow, let him go.
It's time.
Turn him loose.
Let him play. Let him play.
On Sunday.
And all he does is win. All he does is win.
One more game, one more win.
All he does is win games.
All he did was win games.
That was good.
It caught on. It was a national craze. It was unbelievable.
Jim.
Thank you, DJ Steve.
Jim, do you got any footage for me? I want you to show me. I want to see a couple of these throws that Tim Tebow weren't making. Do we got that footage, Jim? I mean, you got that track for me, Jim? I mean, I know you didn't get nominated for no Webby, but this is the same guy. That's the same guy right there. Look at this right here. That's the guy right there. That's the guy we're talking about right there. Hold on. This is the guy right here. Look at this.
Yep.
Then I went to the house. That's the guy right there.
Yep.
And I ain't win no award. Look at this.
So how many young quarterbacks in their first 16 starts go 9 and 7 when they get thrown into a bad fire, like a dumpster fire that was the Broncos at that point? How many bring them back to lead the league in rushing as an offense and to win the AFC West? You know how hard the West is to win, and they won it.
But Skip, who normally stands around the dumpster fire? You make it seem like, look at him. The ball hit the man in the head.
Yeah.
Skip. He wasn't good. And it's okay.
And then it climaxed with a home playoff game against Big Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers, coached by Mike Tomlin. And all Tim did in that game was throw for 316 yards, including this throw. I don't know, was this any good? Because this won the game in overtime.
You take
80 yards to Demaryius Thomas.
You take one throw.
Oh, well, one throw was the throw, right? Did it not win the game? Thank you. Oh, I could watch this all day and all night. He's loose. Demaryius is loose. He's going. He's going. He's gone.
Skip.
You're gone.
Skip.
All the detractors are gone. It killed everybody.
The man threw a 5-yard route. DT went 75 plus.
I'd say it was about a 15-yard route, but that's okay. Hit him right in the hands, and he was gone.
Skip.
You were gone. Everybody who hates Tim Tebow was gone because he showed you just right there, just on that throw and victory alone. How can you write him off as a bust? All he did was win and win and win. And to go 9 and 7, obviously went up the next weekend to Foxborough, and he got destroyed because they got destroyed. Bill Belichick does that to young quarterbacks. That's what happens.
So Patrick Mahomes never got destroyed. His first start, he still threw over 400 yards.
Well, I never said Tim Tebow was Patrick Mahomes. I didn't even say he'd make one Pro Bowl.
But we can't judge him, Skip. We got to judge him. He's a first-round quarterback.
25th overall.
Yes, in the first round. Given that he only started 60, he was only able to start 16 games.
So, hypothetically, if they had kept him at quarterback, if there had been no Peyton situation, let's say Indy said, till death do us part with Peyton Manning. What if Peyton hadn't had his neck and shoulder injury? What if he had been able to finish his career for the Colts and he doesn't knock on Elway's door and say, can I play next year? Because I would have done that in a heartbeat. But what if Tim Tebow had continued for your Broncos the next year and the next year? You know what would have happened? That would have kept happening.
No,
They would have kept winning. They would have won the AFC West again because all he did was win.
If you don't mind me asking,